Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I'm going to be working on Week in the Life featuring the Ali Edwards page flags, the plastic page flags. These were an add-on in the Week in the Life collection, and also my Kodak Doc era, which is how I'm going to be doing my printing. So I am working Project Life in a 9x12. You would have seen some videos here on my channel if you usually subscribe to me. And I left this week empty for me to go ahead and stick my Week in the Life right here in my Project Life. I've done Week in the Life before in a journal and I absolutely loved it. I just remembered I've never done a flip through. Let me know below if you want me to do a flip through of that, but I absolutely loved it. And I did the same thing. I purchased some of the add-ons versus the whole collection because I like to do like snapshots, not like a full album, because most of the pictures that I take are usually in my Project Life anyways. So this is the first time I'm going to do it in pocket pages in a Project Life. So this is new for me, but what I did was, as I told you guys, I purchased the Week in the Life plastic page flags. I love these. These fit in a 2x2 page protector, and so I have all my extra ones in here. It came with a huge pack. I pulled out the ones that I know I'm going to use that kind of match with the colors of the Monday through Sunday, and then I pulled out some extra stuff. For example, Week in the Life was in the week of April, so I saved this April card from my Stories by the Month kit. Also, these two speech bubbles that say Monday through Sunday. I thought it was perfect for journaling, maybe jotting something down. These were actually, this was in my June Stories by the Month, and this one was in my February Stories by the Month, if I'm not mistaken. So I've been saving little things. This was in June Stories by the Month. This was in June Stories by the Month, and this one was in March. So I've been saving some of my things that I was like, I'm going to put that aside. That could work for Project Life. That kind of say Monday through Sunday, because, sorry, not Project Life, Week in the Life. Because I was like, these could work really well with Week in the Life. So using a little bit of my stash, plus the add-on flags that I got from the Week in the Life collection. I also pulled out this stamp just in case I want to do some stamping. I love the sketchiness, and I don't know why, even though these are lowercase, these reminded me of this font, just like it has some of that sketchy, grungy feel, just in a lowercase, and it's fine because the page flags are all in lowercase, so I kind of feel like the font matches a lot. So I pulled this out, and I pulled out some washi. This is like a rainbow stripe washi. I thought that was perfect. And also, I have these 3 journaling cards. I don't know if I'll use these, but I have these 3 in my stash and they match with the colors. I thought these would be fun to add some extra journaling as well. And that is it. That is all I have pulled so far. If I pull anything else, I'll let you know. I have my scissors, my tiny attacher. I'm going to start with going ahead and printing all of my photos, which I have edited and already put together in an album to start printing out. So I'm going to start with that, and then let's get to it. Let's dig in. Okay, darling. So I start off with logging into my tablet so I can access my Kodak app. I love this app. It's super user-friendly, and I love that it has so many features right within the app, like creating collages, and you can make your photos have a border or borderless, and you can adjust everything in there. So it kind of eliminates you having multiple apps. I showed a little bit more in my unboxing of my Kodak Doc era. I'll link that below just in case you missed it. So I'm going to start printing, and I just want to say that since receiving my Kodak Doc era, printing at home has been a game changer for memory keeping. I usually print in bulk at places like Walgreens, but this has allowed me to keep up with my memory keeping projects, and I have been loving it so far. Also, I love that it's low cost. It's costing me lower than actually printing at Walgreens, which is crazy because usually I would think that that wouldn't be the case, but it's super high quality. They actually use real ink, so it produces high quality photos, and I love that there's no smearing, there's no streaking or anything like that. Another thing that I love about it is that it has a lamination process, which is that very last pass through in the printer, and that makes it water resistant and it really makes it durable. It has stood up against the scraping of my nails. It has stood up against folding. I mean, it really is the high quality printer that I was looking for and hoping for to be able to print at home. So this prints 4x6s, and that is perfect for me because I can still do collages to print 3x4s and 2x2s, which is perfect for 6x8 size and 9x12 size, which are the sizes that I use the most. If you're not a pocket page girl, I will say that this is still worth it because you can print your 4x6s and you can cut out in circles and add them to your pages, especially those of you that like to do pages outside the page protector. This is perfect for adding photos to those outside the page protector pattern paper pages. Okay, so here on screen, I am showing you the collages that I created. I created these in a 4x6 size, and they are 2x2 squares, and I left one blank square for each one of these collages because that is where I'm going to place my 2x2 plastic banner from the Week in the Life collection. And so I went ahead and added sticky notes to all of them, as you guys can see, and I'm going to pull those off, but those are just so I can kind of put these in order and I can see where everything fits. I do have a couple of 4x6s and also a couple of 3x4s, but for the most part, there are collages of 4x6 with 2x2 squares. And I picked just my favorite photos from the morning and from the evening or afternoon. I shared these in my stories during Week in the Life. And I was like, oh, you know what? I want to translate this into my album because I really love the collages I created when I was sharing those in stories during the week. Okay, so I'm adding these here. In between these two 9x12 page protectors, I have two inserts. They are two page protectors that are 6x12, and each of them have 3 4x6 slots. So that's gonna give me 12 different slots of 4x6s, and so I'm gonna add those collages there. And now I'm just shifting through and seeing, okay, where can I add this? I had a couple of embellishments that I had pulled from my stash and some, as well as some extra journaling cards. So I'm just shifting through and seeing where I can place all of these different items. I am also taking into account that there is going to be a lot of color because the banners are very colorful, which I love. So I'm trying to think to also create a place where the eyes can rest. So it's not just full of pictures. Since I do have a lot of collages, I want to kind of give space for the eye to rest and not have so many pictures back to back. I hope that makes sense. I also pulled this card from the April Stories by the Month. I'm going to use this colorful washi, which kind of prompts another idea. This washi I had in my stash. I'm going to use this along the top and the bottom just to add a little bit to the card because it was a little plain. And this is just going to frame that card a little better. So you'll see me wrap that over and then I'll grab my scissors and I'll cut off the ends on that. But as I was doing that, you guys saw I kind of said, oh, I can fill in the rest of the white of the boxes of the 2x2 squares that I left open for the plastic banners. I can fill that in with this washi. And it'll tie together the page, but also it adds a little color with a little bit of white that's colorful, but not so overpowering. I hope, that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to each one of these. I also grabbed my Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen in the color green gold, and I highlight the week of Week in the Life in my April calendar. And I thought that was super cute, and it also added a pop of yellow. Next, I'm going to grab all of my 4x6 collages, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with my Monday collage. I will grab my washi, and I'll put a strip of that along the bottom. And this is going to cover that empty space along the bottom that the banner does not cover in that 2x2 spot. And I really love how that turned out. It actually brings some cohesiveness because all of the collages will have that, but it brings a little bit of a pop of color with some white space under that banner to kind of frame out the pictures a little bit better. So I'm going to work on those. So that's a little bit repetitive, so I won't have you watch me do that. I am using a tiny attacher to staple that plastic banner to the actual collage, because if I were to add the adhesive is going to show through and it doesn't look as good. But adding this staple adds a little bit of texture, but at the same time it's going to keep it in place. So I loved using that. So the plastic banners from the Week in the Life collection have a gold foil name of the week on some of them, and some of them have the coordinating frame with the same color or maybe stripes. But what I did was I used the one with the name of the week on the AM collage, so the collage that has my photos from the morning, and then on any extra collages or any extra 4x6 pictures or 3x4 pictures that are from the same day, I used a coordinating color banner that matched that day of the week. And so that way, looking at my album, I can tell, okay, this is a 3x4, but this is from Wednesday. This is a 4x6, but this is from Thursday, just by looking at the color of the banner. Okay, so finishing up this last banner for the collages, I am going to go ahead and grab this 4x6 and cut it down the middle into two 3x4s so they fit in the page pocket that I have here. And it just so happens that this 4x6 could be cut into two 3x4s, and I wouldn't cut anybody down the middle of their faces or anything. And I'll add a matching pink banner because Sunday's banners are pink. And then I will be coming back for a part 2 of my Week in the Life, and I'm going to be focusing on my journaling, on extra embellishments like word phrase stickers and chipboard that I have pulled from my stash. I really love Week in the Life for a great stash buster, just using up some of those word phrase stickers and other embellishments that you may have in your stash. Pull them all out. Things like currently or right now, puffy hearts, puffy geotags, all of those different embellishments that you may have left over from other kits, like these pocket cards that I have. I'm going to use these for journaling, hopefully. So I'm pulling all of those out and placing them here in my album. That way, when I come back the next day, I have a place to go ahead and use those. And that is it. If you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing. Thank you so much for joining me each and every video, darlings. I hope that you guys are able to meet me in the second video, and I will link everything that I use below. God bless. Bye.